needed a throat to find out what the walls were made of, and what came back told me more about the space than any light would have. The return is the information, what bounces back is the only map that works in a room that's dark. I have to keep sending. I did not know where I was until I opened my mouth, the sound went out, and what came back drew the room around me. Not a perfect picture, just enough to take the next step without walking into a wall. There were years I stayed quiet on purpose, thinking silence was a neutral thing, but silence in a dark room is just a longer way of staying lost. The sound has to leave you before it can find anything. What I was afraid of wasn't the echo, it was finding out the room was smaller than I've been telling myself, or larger than I was prepared for. I did not know what I needed until I said it out loud. The words went out, and the shape that came back was nothing like the silence I had been carrying. Instead, bigger room than I thought, and I had been standing in the doorway. The frequency I was looking for was not somewhere else, it was the one I kept almost sending, 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 This is what came back, proof that something out there caught the sound. Caught it. I am not navigating blind anymore. The room has edges now, and I know where they are, because I was loud enough to find them. Every frequency I held back was just a wall I hadn't mapped yet, and the map is not finished. The map is never finished, but I know more of it than I did before I spoke. I have been carrying numbers that don't divide cleanly. Remainders I kept because throwing them out felt like admitting something hadn't worked, so I just carried them forward into the next calculation and the next. At some point the carrying becomes the thing, not the problem, not the proof of failure, just the way. I got good at holding the part that didn't fit was still part of the sum. The number left over still counted. I did the math again with everything included, and the answer came out larger than the one I had been using. Measured everything before I let myself feel it. Ran the numbers twice, made sure the risk was reasonable. Spent so long calculating the cost, I forgot to ask whether the cost of not moving was something I could actually afford. The scale of this is not something I can think my way through. The scale of this needs to be felt. Bigger than the plan I made, bigger than the version I was comfortable with, bigger than every ceiling I accepted without asking why. I didn't know my own size until I stopped making myself fit. I had a habit of shrinking before being asked, leaving space I hadn't been told to leave, apologizing for the room I took up, but no one was asking me to be smaller. That voice was mine, and I had been listening to it for far too long. The scale of this was always already inside me. The scale of this was just waiting for permission. Bigger than the apology I had ready on my tongue, bigger than the careful steps I practiced to stay invisible, bigger than the distance between who I was pretending and who was already there the whole time I was rehearsing small. Every number I ran was measuring the wrong thing. The question was never whether I could handle it. The question was always whether I was ready to find out how much I could hold. This is not the version I rehearsed. This is not the shape of someone playing it safe anymore. And every part of me that spent years being careful is finally exactly loud enough. Magnitude, magnitude. You cannot measure what you haven't felt. Magnitude, magnitude. It was this big the entire time. Every calculation missed it. Every careful step walked past it. Magnitude, magnitude. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Feel it, I have read the full report on myself, every pattern flagged, every loop documented. The list is long and mostly accurate, but the thing about knowing the issue is that knowing it and living with it are two completely different skills. I kept waiting for the version of me that if you were open threads, maybe that version isn't the one that gets released. So I went live as is. Every unresolved thing still running, every old habit still in the code. This is not the final draft, this is just the draft that stopped waiting for permission and walked out the door anyway. And the door was always open. systems running at once, neither one is stopping. Something has to give, something has to give. Right now, here is what it feels like when the odd and the even finally collide. Here is the sound of two things that were never meant to fit, fitting anyway, louder than either one alone. I kept being told to simplify, to make it easier to follow, to round the edges off, but the edges were the point. The friction was the point, the place where I refused to become more convenient. Two systems running at once, I built the collision on purpose. Something has to